We got a green light at the back, so I hope everyone is ready, every systems are ready, because we're going to have a blast of an afternoon. It's Friday the 13th, but don't be bothered by that, we're going to see only success today. And I'm very much looking forward to having this session with you, and especially with so many people in the room, because it's been a while since we've actually had this full meetup again. My name is Don Ginsel, I'm the founder and CEO of Holland Fintech, and I'm really happy to be able to host you here with this new meetup on the second Friday of the month, as you can expect it, all months, all years from now on and going forward. So I'm happy that you're all here. I see a lot of familiar faces that I actually haven't seen for a while, since COVID of course made us go all online, a bit more difficult on the interaction. But of course, as you'll see, we won't be just going here. We still got a live stream for everyone who's not able to make it, unfortunately, today. And we've got, of course, some great pictures as well that are here online. Thank you. So what we're going to do actually is to see a lot of pitches today. We've collaborated today with Startup Bootcamp, with a cohort that's full of cool startups that are almost closing in on their demo day. And today it's basically their big rehearsal for their final demo day. And so you're going to get a sneak peek of these really cool companies and can engage with them on first hand. Really looking forward to giving it to you. But because they've got quite some companies on the program, our program looks a bit different than you're used to. So normally we would have about 5 pitches on us over here, plus some insights have been about the recent market developments. We've got a pub quiz and everything else. And we will be skipping a couple of those because we got 11 companies now pitching, which is really a lot. So we just hope to be able to manage that in time, keep it a bit fun for you as well. We've got one break in between to make sure you take a breath and talk to each other a little bit. And of course, afterwards, around 6 p.m., we will be ready to actually go to drinks with all of you and spend some time here at a great bar next door to actually have a bit of fun and enjoy the company of each other. First of all, I would like to thank, of course, our wonderful host today. Iconic is hosting us here in this building. Please come forward, Willem. It's great to be here. We'd love to hear a little bit about your background, why we're here, and why you would like to basically have these people as your guests.
Pleasure. Well, first of all, welcome to the home of Dutch capitalism. It's good to have you all here. For us as Iconic, as an asset manager, especially an asset manager in crypto, starting in 2017, it's always been quite a pioneering round. Even coming here to the Bourse with only one desk, 2 people, and now, a few years later, 20 people working on the trading floor next to big traders like IFS, like Nenburg, and other execution firms. It's phenomenal. Iconic has grown from Amsterdam, and we were able to take our passports and go out of the city to Rotterdam and to The Hague and to all over the Netherlands, providing quite a unique offer. I think that a lot of people think about crypto asset managers and they think about VCs, they think about hodlers, they think about just Bitcoin. In our case, what we do is pretty much similar to companies like flow traders, like Optiver, like much larger high-frequency traders. And we're quite proud to grown to be one of the top 5 high-frequency traders in Europe, putting the Netherlands straight at the forefront of the financial markets. I think that maybe a bit to what is done here today with pitch after pitch. I think that for us and from our example and from our growth, going for our own pitching, is that everything indeed starts with a dream, but there is a moment that you put it on paper, there is a moment you have to pitch it well. And I think that companies like Holland Fintech, as well as Startup Bootcamp, are some of the best platforms to be able to test your dreams if you are able to put them to practice and make a business out of it. So welcome. And maybe on a bit of a dry note to finish, asked by Euronext, our even larger host, if anyone here would like to smoke or take a break, we ask you to try to stay within this compound. And if you need to smoke, please don't. A, for your health, and second, because probably you can't get out. So if you hold to it, I think we have between 4 to 8 with great pitches, great teams here, and I wish you all success.
Thank you, William. Let's give him a big hand. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's great that Iconic is hosting us here. I think it's great to learn about the companies like these, because indeed, it's of course a bit funny that over the past years after Brexit, actually, the Amsterdam became the biggest capital market in Europe, following London. And you see it also now with regard to crypto. We're actually still, even though it's pretty rough environment from time to time with the regulators, we're actually doing pretty good with regard to knowledge and expertise on crypto. But of course, we're working together with Iconic, but not just that, we're collaborating with Startup Bootcamp. So Liz, can I ask you to come forward and tell us a little about Startup Bootcamp?
The largest accelerator outside the US, and it's my pleasure to, for the 6th year in a row, be introducing the Startup Bootcamp startups here at Holland Fintech. So we've had a partnership with Don and his team, and it's really been great. And thank you for that, and thank you, Iconic, for hosting us. That's all I'm going to say, except maybe our demo day. I don't know, do we have information about that? So next week on Thursday, we have demo day. It is a live event. Those of you who would like to speak to the startups more than you get to speak to them today face-to-face, or you want to speak to them live, you can speak there. And we also can set up some meetings. We will be linking with Calendly and stuff like that. So thank you so much. Yeah.
Great, thank you, Liz, and really pleasure. Yes, let's give her. It's really a pleasure to collaborate on this again for I think already a fourth time, sixth year already. I can't count anymore. All right, I think we have some household measures we'd like to make you aware of before we really get it started and get the pitch machine going. Can I get our slides up? I think we got the agenda, so you have a bit of an eye on what's coming up. Yes, here you can see the schedule. As you can see, it's going to be a tight one. I'm really driven to make this on time and actually finish at 6, so we're going to give that a try, so we get even more borrel and networking at the end. Next slide, please. I can also see if this one works. Yes. Just a really brief one on Holland Fintech. I think I see a lot of familiar faces, so I think... Again? Okay. All right, let's keep it going. I want to see how many mics I can use, actually, consume during this event. So I just want to tell you a little bit about our association, right? We're a business-to-business association with organizations that want to drive forward financial innovation with the end user in mind. So technology is all really nice, but in the end, if you don't change the life of consumers, the life of businesses in the end, we're not really making an impact. So we're really keen on actually doing that. But to be able to do that, it's good to share knowledge, to be able to connect to each other, and to actually get stuff going together. That's why we work with Connect, Learn, and Innovate as a statement to say about what we work. We think it's really important to be able to find each other, to know each other, then to learn about developments globally and the possibilities that there are with fintech. And then, of course, the Innovate side is actually getting it on the move, right? Being able to do something, collaborate, make impact. To do that, we do a lot of events, and one of the ones that's coming up is Amsterdam Fintech Week. We definitely want to make sure you write it in your agenda, so I'll pause for a minute for you to do that. Now, you can take it all later. There's a bit of information at the back. It's 9th to 16th of September. It's basically a whole week where we not just organize a summit ourselves, but we actually invite everyone who has an interest in this industry to organize side events or workshops on their own. So if you want to invite people to your office, want to do a big demo day, or want to do any kind of workshop, or just get people on a boat you want to invite, you can do it during this week, and we'll help you market it, get the right people in and everything else, so we can make it one big party for everything around fintech. Then, if you want to stay posted and make sure you're early on the list for next events, if we keep it going, I think we're going to see a bit more waiting lists in the meetups going forward. So be sure to sign up to the newsletter so you'll get notified first when the meetup is up and you can register for it. I'll leave it at that. Iconic, again, much thanks for hosting us here, and definitely looking forward to talk to all of you at the end. Startup Bootcamp we've had, and so I think we're ready for our first pitcher. Am I right? Just checking there with the directors at the back. All good? All right. Oh, no, wait a minute. I do forget something. We actually go to Menti first. Yes. You see? We should keep on paying attention. Otherwise, I request a new mic. Please all go to menti.com. You can try it by the QR code, or you can go to menti.com and just use the number that's here on the screen, 92540970. What we will do there is actually use that to ask you some questions about the companies you'll see, about the meetup, and also make it a bit of fun along the way. So we hope that we can use that to make it a bit interactive. Is it working with the QR code? Yeah, okay. Everyone online also able to do that? I think so. Anyone needs a bit of time to register, or are we all in? All right. Yes, indeed. We're a bit curious, of course, about who we have here in the room. So what you can see here is a bit what people's background are. See people in software, banking, fintech, venture capital, product management, asset management. Well, I think that's quite a nice, diverse group. Data and quants, that's also interesting. Someone identifies as data and quants. I think definitely desirable for a lot of the companies in the room here to talk to if you need a job. Looking cool. I think it's quite a nice, diverse one. Let's go to the next question, perhaps, to keep the pace in a bit. Can we already move it on? All right. Let's see if the next question appears in the app so you can move forward. Ah, yes, there we are. There we see what kind of people we have here. Sales, COO, CEO, engineers, partners, software developers. I think that's also quite a nice diversity, right? So I think it's relatively technically oriented, as we would expect, of course, if we're talking about fintech. But it's just nice to see the kind of diversity of the people that we have here in the room. Thank you for sharing. And I think this really also, we get some more questions going along the way to just ask you what you think about what's going on, also to be able to give us some feedback, and of course to ask questions about the company. So looking forward to hear more from you along the way. Then I'd say we would take time to now go to the first pitch and keep the pace in. For Monai, we would like to start with first. Martin, yes, there you are. You can take that mic. Let's see if that works. Then I can hold this one to actually interrupt you once you're over time.
All right.
All right. Yeah, you know about that. All right, good luck. Take it away.
Thank you.
Let's give him a big hand, everyone. Let's warm him up a bit.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're all having a wonderful day today. My name is Martin Balk, and I'm a co-founder of Monai. Imagine, you are a CEO of your own wholesale company. Every day, you are shipping out dozens of orders to people all across the world. But at the end of each day, you notice that you are holding back orders that are actually ready to be sent out. Why? Because you are unaware that the payments for these orders have already been received. So why is this happening? Wholesale companies that are active in multiple countries are seeing an increase in the amount of bank accounts they have to manage. And managing these bank accounts takes a lot of time. Just imagine having to log into multiple bank portals just to see if a transaction has been received. We spoke to over 100 companies indicating that they spent up to 2 hours a day managing this. And because these payments are followed up manually and communicated too late, orders are often delayed by days and sometimes even weeks. Now imagine that your company is selling wheelchairs and patients are waiting to receive these orders. Sounds crazy, right? But yet this is happening every day all across the world. My co-founder Peter Buys has been working in wholesale for years and experienced this firsthand. So enter Monai. Monai provides a real-time overview of all of the bank accounts in one place and allows you to search for transactions across all bank accounts at once. Users are able to set up alerts and notifications on important financial events to, for example, receive a notification of an incoming payment. But why not automate further? Why not automate further? With Monai, you can also connect to other software as well. For example, to ERP systems to automatically update order statuses and informing warehouse staff. Is it working? Is it not working? Yes, it is working. So me and Peter Buys are the founders of Monai. Peter has been working in wholesale for years, and for the last couple of years has been deeply involved in the open banking space. And my name is Martin Balk, and a couple of years ago I built a platform that aggregates all cryptocurrency accounts and wallets in one place. When I showed this platform to Peter, the idea from Monai came to life. This was exactly what the companies needed that Peter has been working with for years, but then for fiat bank accounts instead of crypto. So Peter and I have been working together for over 20 years, and for the last 6 years have been working on projects together. This is an exciting time for us. In this quarter, we are launching our MVP to our first 10 companies that will be testing out the product. And in the next quarter, we will go live with our subscription model and onboard the first paying customers. In the last quarter, we aim to go live with all of our core features. If you would like to work, if you see opportunities of working together, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.
Well done. So indeed, we have some complexity here, but we know that you can all handle this. Right, let's put the past one up with the QR code. Because then, yes, indeed. So just to explain a little bit what's going on here. If you use the QR code, you're able to book a meeting with him to actually have a one-on-one talk later on, or in a breakout session, right? So that's really nice. I think that you were able to talk to you later on with a smaller group.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so that's good to know. And at the same time, we also have the room to ask questions now. So anyone in the room that has a question, please raise your hand and we'll run to you with the mic. And people online could also actually ask questions by typing them in the chat or in the Q&A or via Menti. There's all these possibilities. And we'll just figure out a way how to get these questions here and ask them. Yes, we have a question here.
Yes, thank you. Maybe I missed it, but why do all these companies have multiple bank accounts anyway?
Because they are active in multiple countries. So they have multiple bank accounts in different countries, but also possibly even different currencies as well.
Yeah, I do recognize the problem, and I also think that I'm curious about also your sort of future perspective, how far this should go. But first, of course, we go to Connie.
Yeah. Hi, thank you very much. Where's the difference with like a beginner's level package from a cash management program?
Sorry, could you repeat?
If you have like a cash management solution, that would offer you the same as a corporate.
Yeah, so we're actually really focusing on optimizing workflows and processes for these SMEs. And so we're starting out with wholesale companies. So we like to automate their business processes based on financial events.
Yeah, so it's also about the size, right? I think wholesale companies have these solutions that Connie is asking about, but I think SMEs very often don't.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Any other question here in the room? So I'm just curious about your future perspective, right? So one of the visions that I always have, and especially when I'm struggling with my banking, is like, I would want one cockpit from where I could just rule it all, right? So I don't want to see my bank account. I want to be able to operate everything from there. Get finance, get Forex, get all in one dashboard. What's your view? How far do you want to go?
Yeah, so there's lots of things like you said. So our first mission is to tackle this problem for these wholesale companies, and from there on we will move to other markets as well, like other types of businesses as well. But like you said, we also would like to add more assets, like let's say cryptocurrency assets or other assets as well. But first, really focus on automating the processes for these businesses. Next to that, in the future, we would like to really leverage open banking to offer more solutions as well. So let's say credit checks or validation, like verification, account holder verification, and stuff like that.
Cool. I think that's really nice. Good perspective. Any last check on a question here in the room? Otherwise, going once, going twice. And we're going to give him a big hand, of course. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well done. Well done. Then it's time to actually go online and see our first pitch here from Nicolo from Vemini. Nicolo, are you ready?
Yes.
Yes, looking very good. Take it away.
Amazing. So,
Oh, wait, let's first give you a big hand, if you can hear it over there.
so this is Robert Williams. He got arrested for a crime that he didn't commit. And this was thanks to a faulty face recognition software that was used by police in Detroit. And as Face ID got bypassed, millions of biometric fingerprint and fingerprint stolen in a biostar hacking. And the racial bias that blocks the life of minorities so much within face recognition that even congressmen, when mismatched with mugshots by a facial recognition software in the United States, a new standard of authentication is required. And you know what makes us common but also special in a way? Blood, specifically your brain. And that's why we empower them for a secure, fast, and inclusive authentication, then distributing the data across multiple storage to respect privacy and give control to the end user on their identity. And then with the ledger, enabling usability and trust across multiple facilities to let you just hover your hand in order to access, pay, and sign whenever our technology is present. But where does Gemini come from? It comes from the great experience of our team. As a defense professional, my work was used to keep the bad guys away, while Alan brought the good technologies in. Lorenzo founded 4 successful cybersecurity companies in Italy, while Giuseppe and Vincenzo are director in a major IT company, both of them with startup experience. Antonio has a PhD in data optimization, while Aldo is a talented full-stack developer. The need for a secure and usable access solution is sky high in airports, with millions of people coming back to use them. And that's why we are targeting them as an entry point, providing security for the workforce, usability for priority passengers, and a safe and memorable authentication for lounges, without worrying too much about COVID-19. Competing in a 50 billion market that will develop in a 25 billion market by 2028, the physical access market with airports, and then jump to the digital identity market. Ready to compete in a sector that will unlock between 3 and 13% of the global GDP, leveraging on our advantages in terms of security and privacy, but with a validated user experience by US companies such as Amazon One and KU. We have been trusted by an IT company in northern Italy for the security of their data center, and by a Taiwanese point of sales manufacturer for a full contactless biometric payment experience. We've been supported by X Europe, Engineering, Startup Bootcamp, and Team Telecom. What we need are 600K investments, really focus on R&D and the IP, in order to create the next standard of authentication, a standard made for all the Mr. Williams in the world, in order to provide security, privacy, and justice for them and make it last into the future. Thank you very much. We hope to see all of you in a demo day. And if you have any questions, of course, we're here together with my partner, Alan.
Again, here's the QR code again to book a part of the breakout session together with Nicolo and his partner. But first of all, there might be some questions here already. Anyone already curious about something here? I might already kick it off to give you some time to think about it. Nicolo, so can you tell me what exactly does it entail for companies to actually change over a system, right? So I think that there might be, you talked, for example, about airports where they might already use biometric authentication of some sort. Is it easy, you think, to convince them to change over to another system?
Yeah, so of course, authentication is a tough market, but our solution guarantees a new experience and a new standard. And with biometrics becoming more prominent across all the sector, we can be the new standard in terms of high-level experience. So for example, right now, passporting is becoming more widespread across all the airports, but before it was just for the premium service. We are becoming the new premium service, and we are looking forward then to expand across as many use cases as possible. This is for the priority passenger. On the workforce instead, it's more easier because the legacy system are older and there are new security requirements also enabled by the pandemic, like ours in a touchless experience. So with the fact that we can flag just a small sensor within their system and keep it good by integrating with their existing system, we have minimal friction with our customers.
Yep. Yeah, really interesting. Yep.
Hi, thank you for your presentation. It was a good pitch. One question though, is it only for physical spaces? This is how it sort of looks to me, or is it a combined access for if you're a workforce for both your physical and the virtual environment?
So right now we are focusing on the physical space because it's an out market and we are receiving great validation. But due to the fact that we're developing our sensor and we're working a lot on becoming the owners of the science in terms of handprint, hand vein, and 3D hand recognition, we plan to insert also remote onboarding and verification, full software. And so even in remote environments, and not just physical, but also digital. But it's something that we plan to insert further in our pipeline. Right now, it's physical access.
Yeah, yeah, makes sense. Any further questions? Yeah.
Thank you. I think I saw that part of your system is also using a ledger and decentralized network. Where's the identifying information stored?
Well, I'll leave this response to Alan, our CTO, which can give you a perfect.
Yep. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Nico. Yeah, great question, by the way. So as we said, the core is to back data to the user, right? So it's really important to have that, that stepping stone into our ecosystem. To answer your question briefly, is the data is stored. It's firstly fraction in two different segments. One goes into the phone of the user on the enrollment side, and the other one is based on the identity. One they call an identity now, right? So you have ecosystem where basically users will be able to manage their own data through their smartphone, to be able to basically toggle every single access from, directly to your smartphone. That's why we're talking about distributed identity. So we're not referring to blockchain per se, but the approach is not having a server and a silos management of data, but a distributed management of the same data.
Clear. Thank you, Alan. Good to see you here as well. Nice to jump in. Final check also with my colleague Sander. Any questions that are urgent popping up in the back? No? Because I think then we're good. Then let's move on to the next one. Let's give them a big hand, everyone. And now we're going to listen to someone with a musical name, Melody, to talk about Satoshi. Please give her a big hand, everyone. Best stand here so you can see the slides. Yeah.
Everybody hates to stand in line. What if you could skip the line and pay with one click in every single store? Well, that is where Satoshi comes in. My name is Melody Askelöv, and I'm the co-founder of Satoshi, a simple scan to pay solution, easy to use and hassle-free. For consumers, convenient retail no longer feels convenient. When I've picked what I want to buy in seconds, now I have to stand in line for 30 minutes to pay. That isn't convenient. For retailer, long lines creates bad customer experience. And I'm losing customers. Well, Satoshi has the solution. With Scan and Pay, we create customer loyalty. We help our retailers to focus on growth and their customers. We help you as a consumer to have more time with your family and friends. Here is our product. But how does it work? You pick up your phone in the store, you scan the product, and pay and leave and say bye-bye to the lines. For our consumers, the product is for free. For retailers, we take 1% to 2.5% per transactions. A market size is 2.7 million millennials in Sweden. The total addressable market size is 144 billion euro. And our goal is to take 80 million euro. The annual growth is 23%. That is an amazing opportunity for us. And we have target young millennials and retailers, small enterprises. We will start in Sweden and the Nordics and then continue to Europe. The fintech market is heated, so are we. We have already 2 POCs ongoing. We have 400 sign-ups. We have been in Dragon's Den in Swedish television. And end of May, all of you are welcome to Dubai, because we will be at the startup stage. Well, here is our amazing team with a lot of experience within retail, banking, finance, and also supply chain and UX. And me, myself, I have 15 years of experience within banking, retail, and telco. We are raising 500,000 euro to finalize our MVP and to get our 1,000 target customers. And of course, grow Satoshi team. So this is Satoshi. If you want to join us to break habits, please let us have a chat.
Well done, Melody. Well done. And let's put up the QR code as well for you to book a breakout session, indeed, with Melody. Are there any questions here already? There must be some retail lovers here in the room, right? Yeah, okay, let's start here.
Thank you for a very nice presentation. I was wondering, how do you deal with, let's say, the tags that trigger an alarm when you leave the store?
Actually, that is a really great question, because I will just, could I show you here? No? Couldn't? Yeah, because here, as you see our product, we have this kind of receipt that you could go out with. And some of the stores have already a self-scanning, and they have this kind of alarm-like tables. So that's the aim, to have a cooperation with that kind of retail stores. So, yeah.
Yeah, so you expect the self-checkout movement to actually move much further, right? And that basically is a platform for your solution also to build on.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like a partnership.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Melody. I saw another question here.
Thanks. Great presentation. Thank you. I was curious, how do you get your information from the retailer systems? Do you integrate with them, and how do you deal with price changes and that sort of stuff?
A really great question. Thank you. Actually, we have one grocery now. So we are getting data from them. So we get the APIs from them, from their data. So that's the thing, because as this grocery that we will have our beta tests with, they get new products every month, and 10 different Fanta or Coca-Cola, and that is aligned to our system as well.
Great. You have a question as well? Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was actually wondering, because there are these supermarkets now where you have checkout based on sensors. Not necessarily that you have to scan using your app. What's your advantage compared to these existing companies that actually allow you to just walk away with products and it's like an automatic checkout? What's your advantage compared to these companies?
Yeah, I think the advantage is more that we will have the cooperation, because you can't do that everywhere. You could do it in single stores. So we are like a complement to that kind of stores.
Yeah,
so
I think you're trying to actually bring them together, right, between different systems from different stores.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. All right. Menno, did you also have a question? Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. I was smiling in the beginning because the problem you wanted to tackle was exactly the problem where we started in Innovation Lab Tiki from, a payment request service, skipping the line. So very interesting. The question I have for you is how will you cope with getting to your clients, so the consumers and the merchants? and keep your acquisition costs low?
Yeah, really great. And I think that is always the difficult part to get. But now we have this pilot with this grocery. They have like 1,500 customers per day. And before COVID, they had 2,500 customers. So our aim is to partner up with our target group, like retailers, and then we will reach out to our customers. So that's the aim.
Yeah, great. I'm going to save that for later for the drinks, if that's okay, Robert, because I think we're a bit out of time. But please give Melody a big hand for great answers. And then we're ready for another online pitch from Filiberto from Kirigami. Filiberto, are you ready?
I am ready.
Yes, that sounds good. Well, then we give you a very big hand and get you started. Let's hear it.
Thank you very much. Like you said, my name is Filiberto and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Kirigami. At Kirigami, we make sure SMEs are better prepared for tomorrow's challenges. Everybody knows that SMEs are an integral part of our economies. In EU and UK, about 28 million are SMEs, account for 50% of GDP and employ close to 100 million people. What people don't realize is just how often things hit the fan. 1 in 5 businesses will suffer some kind of disruption every year. This could be a cyber attack, a fire, or an equipment failure. And unfortunately, very few survive. Following a disruption, about 80% of businesses will close their doors within 18 months. Now, business interruption insurance is a fantastic product, but it is also extremely misunderstood. Owners simply don't have the time or the knowledge to find the appropriate cover. That's not even talking about the frustrations that they have during the claims process. They often report being left in the dark, not knowing what they're covered for, and payments being received too late. We are re-engineering how business interruption is delivered to SMEs to make sure that they're covered when it counts the most, and we plan to do so in 3 ways. We're developing a hybrid product that pays out emergency cash within days of a loss. This removes a huge amount of uncertainty for business owners. Secondly, our tech-driven approach helps SMEs better understand their cover in simple words, provides preventative recommendations, and flags any underinsurance gaps. And finally, our real-time policy management tools make sure insurance evolves in step with business needs. We've identified a beachhead market looking at micro and small companies within the light industrial and professional service sectors in the UK. In the UK, commercial insurance premiums top 10 billion euros annually, and a significant opportunity exists just trying to close the insurance gap. Timing is also key, and the events of the last couple of years have raised awareness about business continuity and business interruption. Nonetheless, these same events have adversely impacted many SMEs, and many are reconsidering their insurance. And finally, a lot of large insurance carriers would like to tackle this market, but the demands are for personalized attention, making it very expensive. Disruptive change won't come from within the industry. The essence of insurance is to minimize risk and be conservative. It can only come from the outside, and we plan to do so with 1 foot in the door. Our team is extremely well versed in commercial insurance and technology, allowing us to find a way in. We're looking to raise 600,000 euros to develop our underwriting engine, sort out our regulatory requirements, and seed initial capital to start selling policies. By changing the conversation around business continuity, we believe we can unlock a huge amount of value per customer and ensure that ensure SMEs are covered for tomorrow's challenges. For us, business interruption is just the beginning. If you'd like to know more, please join us, or because we're doing it virtually, scan our QR code and book a meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Filiberto. Well done. Just let's see if we have some questions here in the room for you. I think in any case, it's nice to see also that you're aiming for this SME segment, right? The sort of underserved segment very often within financial services, to actually focus on them for your insurance proposition. One question I had already at the beginning is like on the distribution side, right? So how are you going to get to them? What is your strategy with that?
So we're looking to go directly to them to better understand their exact needs around business interruption. But a lot of it can be done piggybacking on existing carriers, because the way we have to finance ourselves relies on paper or fronting capacity. So we have access to their networks.
Exactly. So you work with the agents and they have the contacts already. Yeah, sounds good.
Correct.
Any questions here in the room? Yeah, just a minute.
Thanks for the pitch. I think this might be interesting for small medium enterprises, but I'm just wondering how you're going to tackle the possibility for false claims and a margin of error on that regard.
So yes, excellent question. What we're doing, what we want to change is part of the process of onboarding. So requiring a better KYC process, and that would include accessing financial information pre-binding of policies. Right now, the process is you buy your insurance. If you have a claim, then you start providing all that information. So we would have a record beforehand, allowing us to know what they've done historically, but also access to some forecast. And we would use that to lower their premiums or give them better pricing. So the gaming of the system will be reduced.
Thanks, good question. Anyone else here in the room? No, no insured techies here that are curious to know more. I'm curious also on the back end side, right? Sort of the whole underwriting you want to do yourself. How do you, which parties do you collaborate with? And for example, are you also still looking for other partners basically to complete your solution?
So we're looking for more partners on the underwriting component. We have a claim solution because we started off as a pure claim processing platform. So we're able to handle business interruption claims very easily. And we've reduced the time frame from 4 to 6 weeks to maybe a week now with a human review. But now we're looking to extend into the revenue side. So looking for a better understanding of better partners within the underwriting world.
Yeah, clear. Thanks. Final check in the room? Yes, here you go.
Thanks, Don. I picked up on your phrase, security recommendations for customers. That struck me as not the way that most insurance works. It's like security mandates or do this or else. So you're intending on taking a much friendlier approach towards things that customers need to do to reduce the possibility of their incurring damage and you having to pay out. You're going to take a friendly approach rather than mandate or be rough about it.
Yes, because our breach covered plus policy that we're looking to do is hybrid in nature, so it has a parametric component that allows us to be a little bit more friendly because at the time of claim, we know what the trigger is going to be. And serving the SME market, that's one of the biggest pain points and costs. It creates the most leakage for large carriers, so we have to try and change that conversation with SMEs.
Yeah, great. Thanks for the question, and thanks, Filiberto. Let's give you a big hand now. Thank you for all the questions.
Thank you.
Well done. And then we're up for the next very Dutch-sounding tulip. Maxime, are you ready?
Yes, I am. Thank you very much.
All right, let's give Maxime a very big hand here to get him started.
Hi, my name is Maxime, co-founder and CEO of Tulip, a centralized trade deal management and payment ecosystem for importers and exporters. Every year, 4 trillion worth of trade deals are made in Europe, with 98% out of it that are made by SMEs. Every trade imposes a risk for the companies involved, direct loss of values, disrupted supply chain, or complete stop of business processes within SMEs being especially vulnerable. That's why, in essence, supplier wants payment in advance and buyer after arrival. The question is who takes the risk when things go wrong. Guarantee solutions are painfully complex, costly, with an approximate fee of 2.18% and with a time to settle to approximately 25 business days, and they are mostly reserved to large groups. My years as part of a trading desk focusing on B2B FX payments taught me that this is one of the major threats that are facing SMEs on a daily basis: trust, especially when it comes to import and export. That is why we started Tulip, a platform that is all about creating security and trust for SMEs transacting businesses. What Tulip does is securing payment upfront from the buyer on an escrow account and release it to the seller upon proof of shipment. In this way, buyers are sure that the goods are shipped and the sellers secure payment upfront. We are a team with extensive experience in international payments, product design, and development, helping us build a client-centric solution that responds to the issues that the SMEs faces on a daily basis. So far, we have developed the Tulip platform that is going live end of May for testing and signed 60 million worth of trade volume. Our clients can connect and make deals together in 60 countries in 25 different currencies and the ability to build invoice financing strategies. To grow our business as one of the major players in this 12 billion European industry, we'll need to scale fast and find the right partners and talent to scale and help SMEs around the world. To make our mission a reality, we're seeking a 2 million euro seed round to build our team, build a tech proposal, and help on the translation to open new countries. So, are you ready to build trust worldwide with us? Thank you very much for your time, and I will be happy to answer all your questions.
Thank you, Maxime. Well done. Let's see, are there any questions in the room here for Maxime? Yeah, let's start here.
Thanks, Don. So I understand your function of holding the money until the transaction is complete between the buyer and seller. But quite often, of course, there's the foreign exchange considerations. It needs to be in a different sort of money. How is that done? What's your involvement in that? And more particularly, you seem to be, a sort of at this point at least, a small player that cannot take advantage of scale to get the best deal on the FX transaction.
So we have a market provider. So what we do on every trade to hedge, actually what you said, the FX risk, and we use forward position like this. The buyers and the sellers at the creation on the deal through our platform can secure the rate. So that, for example, if we take a deal through Netherlands to US, the US buyer will know exactly how much dollars you need to send, and the Dutch company will know how many euros that we will receive through all the contract.
Okay, so it's pre-agreed indeed. When you hold it in escrow, you never run the FX risk yourself, right? Basically.
No.
Clear.
We hedge from the start.
Yeah, cool. Other questions here in the room? Go on, guys. Brains on, please. Yeah, here we go. Jan Willem.
Thanks. How do you solve for the need for a network effect? So you need all the parties in a transaction to be on your platform. How do you target specific ecosystems, or how do you do that?
So in terms of integration, so we onboard one of the player, the buyer or the seller, we KYC them and we let them onto the platform. When they create a deal, the platform connects directly to the counterparty and gives them an access to this specific deal where they can approve or deny the transaction. And us at Tulip, we give an account manager that talks to the client and the supplier to give full transparency during all the operation and the same point of contact for our platform.
Yeah, so if I summarize that, it's basically peer-to-peer, it already works. So you don't need everyone in the whole value chain to participate, but it will have network effects that once you're in, it's suitable to scale from there, right? So
yes.
if that's understood well. All right, any other questions? Everyone in here in the back also still paying attention? Yeah? Okay. Now I'm really curious, you need 2 million, right? That's quite a large chunk of money. Where is most of that being spent?
So
what kind of car are you going to get?
None of them. I'm a very bad driver, so not this. No, most of it, as we are a B2B sales company focusing on SMEs, we need a big sales team and development team. So the goal of Smart Trade, Tulip, sorry, we just rebranded, of Tulip is to become the one-stop shop from trade finance. So for now, we cover FX, escrow, so guarantees, and also invoice financing. So to fit, especially on what SMEs need. But every SMEs have a different problematic. For example, some want to hedge on guarantees, some want to hedge on the FX, some need financing. So we need to go directly to them. So the big chunk of that seed will go to the sales team, divided in direct sales and also institutional sales going to brokers, insurance brokers, factoring brokers to benefit from their client portfolio, giving us the ability to provide their client better services. So this is one of the major chunk of the raise, and the other raise is for the tech team to be able to build this API solution that connects to everybody within the supply chain and the payment framework.
Clear. Thanks, Maxime. Check around the room. I think everyone's ready for a break. So let's give Maxime a very big hand. Thank you. Indeed, and we're right on time, 5 to 5. So I would say, please be back here on time because we're going to start 5:15 sharp to make sure we end up at 6, right? So see you in a bit. Thanks. Are you ready for the sequel? We're going back online and we're going back on track here on the offline session here at Beursplein 5. Let's continue and let's keep the pace in because we still got 6 companies to go. So it's a busy program. And as promised, I will deliver you at 6 p.m. at drinks. So it's a tough game, but I'll try to do it and keep the pace in. So let's get further to admin. Celia, where are you?
I'm here.
You ready?
Yeah.
Cool. Take it away, Celia. Let's give Celia a big hand, everyone.
Did you know that it can take up to 30 days for friends and family to receive money in developing countries? This used to happen to our co-founder Marvin when he used to receive money from his mum in the US so he could buy cool stuff whilst he studied in the Caribbean. Sending money was expensive for her, and for Marvin, he had to pick up the cash in a place that was dodgy and high risk, where you wouldn't want to send your children. This happens to most customers like me. I'm Zelia, the co-founder of Atman. There are 1.7 billion people who are excluded from financial services, and as a result, when receiving money, must travel long distances to pick up cash due to money transfer operators being based in the city centre. These transactions can be costly for both parties, with high commission fees and FX conversion rates accounting for up to 12% of the cost. Atman is a financial service app that addresses this problem, with a focus on financial inclusivity, while supporting sustainable development goals such as education, health, and clean water. Customers in Europe can access our Euro account by onboarding with a government ID. Once approved, money can be sent quickly and easily in 14 currencies to over 200 countries, saving customers up to 40% in fees and time. Admin-to-admin accounts can request money via a link or QR code and receive it in seconds. Money can be spent freely using our MasterCard. Features like Apple and Google Pay, multi-currency accounts, buy now, pay later, and cashback rewards will be coming soon within the Atman Marketplace in Q3 2022. Our live beta app has over 10,000 downloads. We've processed over 3 million euros of transactions and pre-approved by seeders as we look for a lead investor. Revenue is generated from in-app fees and subscriptions, and in the near future, from connectivity with B2B partners, API monetization, and in-app advertising. Here is the market size and estimated growth for neobank and remittance. With approximately 37 million unbanked individuals living in the EU, where 23 million are non-EU citizens, we would like to capture 230,000 customers as our share of the market in the next 24 months. We are raising £2 million for additional app features, new currencies, to improve our compliance, research and development, and to cover BaaS and SaaS related costs. The team are from different cultural backgrounds with banking, tech, and marketing expertise, and we've come together to connect our cultures with a drive to reinvest in them. Atman in German means to breathe. We need your support to give customers like myself a new breath of life to be financially included with an Atman account. Come and connect with us. Myself and the team are happy to answer any questions that you may have. Thank you.
Thank you, Celia. Well done. Well done, Celia. Are there any questions for Celia at the moment? Yeah, go ahead, Connie.
So Celia, a good presentation and a lovely look and feel of your product. All the kudos to you. But I'm going to ask you the horrible question. What is the one great big differentiator with all the other remittance solutions we know?
So that's a common question that we do get. And I think it's more in terms of where our focus is. So we're really focused on the Caribbean, Latin America. And currently when you look at Wise, they're not actually focusing on those areas.
Okay, so it's an underserved region, you say, right? That's sort of,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. Any other questions here at the moment? Yep, here we go.
Hi, Zelia. Great presentation. During the presentation, you mentioned that in some of these areas that you're focusing on, it's difficult for people to get access to the cash. So how are you going to make this product available to them? Because, again, they are going to be outside the mainstream cities.
Okay, I'll pass that question on to my co-founder, Marvin.
Marvin.
Hi, everyone. So we're going to be looking at banking partners in those locations, but we're also speaking with MasterCard directly.
Clear. Does it answer your question? Yeah. All right. Any other questions here in the room? Then I'll start with one for either one of you. So I think one of the situations you mentioned is that it's dangerous to pick up or bring money somewhere, right? So how do you plan to connect to all these ecosystems? I think you already mentioned banking partners, but how do you see the ecosystem further evolve? Do you want to play a bigger role there as well, as you also put neobanks there in the comparison? Is that your long-term goal?
Yes, that's right. Definitely. We would like to serve the undeserved and the diaspora community. We do take for granted a lot of things in Europe that we can do that's more or less lacking in those regions. And picking up cash is very high risk in those regions. So we would do like to address some of these high risk problems first, and then open up to offer additional products that would be more relevant for the local individual, particularly those who would be traveling out from those regions to come and work or study abroad.
Yeah, clear answer. All right, I'll scan the room once more, and I think we're good. Let's give them a big hand. Celia and Marvin, well done. I hope you all still use the QR codes to book the breakout meetings, right? So please keep an eye out for that. If you want to meet them in the breakout later on, please scan this. And then we go on to the next session. Finno, let me get the slide. Yes, there he is. Looking forward to that, Carlos.
Thanks, man.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Let's give him a big hand, everyone. Carlos is taking it away.
Hello, everyone. Hope everybody is still awake and energized. Thanks all for being here today. It's Friday and we're almost done. That's the good news. Yeah, so before we actually start, I just want to ask you guys a question. Please raise your hand if you have ever studied abroad here. Have you ever studied abroad? Okay, good. Now, but by abroad, I mean outside Europe. So, okay, cool. So let me ask someone here. What's your name, Mike?
Meron.
Meron, where have you studied? In the US. Cool, nice. All right, guys. So what Finno is all about is we are the world's first study abroad digital wallet. And we're coming here to help people like my friend, sorry, I forgot your name? Meron, to help people from like Meron here. So folks, studying abroad, maybe Meron can confirm this, is one of the best experiences you can ever have in your life, right? But the process of actually affording this experience can be quite stressful, right? Sending money, saving money in a different currency, sending that to a university in a whole new, sometimes continent, far away from home, can be quite stressful if you're a young guy and don't know much, right? So basically, this is the sentence I always like to start our pitches, right? Pay your university, not your bank. I guess everybody would agree with that. But to help you understand what most people go through, maybe what Meryl also went through, let's all say hello to my friend Meryl. No, just kidding, to my friend Sarah here. So Sarah is a Brazilian student, and she's currently planning to study at the University of Calgary in Canada, in the beautiful Alberta. But she's struggling at the moment. You see, not only she doesn't have enough money up front to pay her tuition, but the exchange rates she has access to are making the cost of her education even more expensive. And on top of all that, her bank in Brazil is charging her around 7% just to make a simple wire transfer. Crazy, right? Well, built on top of Stellar's blockchain, Finno is making this process easier, simpler, and more convenient for Sarah. Here's how. By opening an account at Finno, Sarah is able to save money in her local currency, in this case, Brazilian real, She can then convert the money to Canadian dollars, and finally, she can pay the University of Calgary in seconds, all through the app. That's less fees and more convenience. But folks, Sarah's not alone out there. Only in 2020, there are over 600,000 students that decided to go study in Canada. Together, they sent $16 billion in transactions to their university's account. So it's a big industry, right? Therefore, there must be big companies out there, and there are. Big companies like Western Union, Pay My Tuition, and Flywire have been in this industry for years. But here's what makes us unique. While they make people like Sarah and maybe our friend Mara here go through the same traditional process as bank would, simply charging them slightly lower fees, our blockchain technology allows us to reduce the cost for Sarah in up to 50% in some cases. But not only that, our multi-currency wallet enables Sarah to wait for the perfect moment to decide when to convert her money, using market volatility in her favor. And more than that, we're also working to enable Sarah to generate yields, interest in the money she will hold in her funds. But folks, being different is more than just coming up with new features. It's about supporting a cause, which is education, right? And that's why we're very proud to say that we're gonna reinvest 1% of our revenue back to all our users' accounts to help people like Sarah and Mario get the money to afford his education quicker. Now, to support that, our revenue model is based on transaction fees. So every time they convert their money, we charge them a percentage and nothing more. We don't charge them when they send the money or when they deposit, nothing. Now, you might be thinking, this all sounds great, but why are you guys the team for this mission? Well, I can say many things here. Like the number one is I personally have been in this industry, has been my backyard for 8 years, right? And Peter here has 14 years of experience in software development. By the way, he's right here in the second row. But more important thing, guys, we both experienced these pains ourselves. So we know what it feels, right? And that's it. So please join us on our mission of making education borderless. Thank you.
Let me see. Any questions here for studying abroad? Yes.
Thanks, Don. I can't speak for Marin, but I don't know that you fully solved Sarah's problem because she did not have enough money to study, no matter how she is able to convert it. So maybe you have loan facilities to help out people like that?
Well, that's the thing. In long term, our long vision, like there's room for like coming up with potential funds for international students and all. But for now, what we see is that this way we can enable, in this case, Sarah, to start saving money with time. So in our discovery phase, we found out that people usually, they start planning their studies 6 months to 2 years before they actually have to pay, right? So what we do here, what our app enables, is for Sarah to start every month, let's say, put 10% of her salary there, right? And every time her local currency appreciates, there's a notification that will be sent to her, say, hey, Sarah, today might be a good day for you to convert your money. And she will do this until she comes up with enough money on her own to do this. So for now, answering your question, we're not like funding Sarah or anything else, but obviously there's lots of things that we want to build up in the future. But thanks for the question.
Thanks. Yep. Here, go ahead.
So when postponing payments or foreign exchange trades, there's also, of course, the possibility that your money might decrease in value. Is there any kind of option in this app in which you can mitigate these kinds of risks?
Yeah, so that's actually a good question because, guys, when it comes to international education, the big flow is from developing countries all the way to like developed countries. So people coming from Africa, Asia, Latin America, going to study in US and all. And in fact, that's a big problem, the volatility of those currencies. And this is the beauty of this because they can convert right away to the currency they will pay the university. So they're protected, right? In the case of Sarah, she will have a balance in Canadian dollars. So even if Canadian dollars appreciates or decreases, the final price is, let's say, 30K Canadian dollars. So she's safe in that matter.
Cool, thanks. Yes, another question there. Federico.
Thanks. Hey, congratulations for the presentation, by the way. How many people like Sarah do you need to break even, and how do you plan to reach them?
That's a good question. So in terms of break even, it's a little bit hard for me to answer that because it will depend on some data that I don't have in terms of our costs, right? But what I can tell you is how it's what our go-to-market strategy is to reach Sarah. So basically, it's two funnels. So we have a direct B2C. So we reach Sarah where she is, social media. We partner with study abroad fair organizers, for instance, is one of our biggest partner. And the other funnel is B2B2C. So Finno is partnering with universities to become one of their payment options that their students can use. By doing so, we stay on their website, and their students can choose between us and some other competitors that I named there. So these two ways is how we're getting to Sarah.
Great. I think everyone looks pretty satisfied here. So let's give Carlos a very big hand. Thank you very much, Carlos. Then we're up for an energy shift. Philip, are you there?
Yes, I am, and I would like to shift your attention to energy shift.
All right, but not before we actually give you a very big hand to get you started. Let's give him a hand, everyone. All right, good luck, Philip.
Thank you. Can I just get the access to the slides, please? Thank you. Nope, still not there. Did you know that 78% of European greenhouse gas emissions are caused by the energy sector alone? That makes it the highest polluting sector of them all, and the one where we can make a huge impact in. In addition to the pollution created by the production of energy from fossil fuels, there's also lack of participation from citizens in tackling climate change and global warming, as currently citizens cannot easily invest in renewable energy. And there's also lack of funding, as mentioned by the United Nations and European Union, to meet the 2030 targets that we set. To solve all of those problems, we started Energy Shift. Energy Shift is a blockchain-powered platform that enables citizens to jointly invest in and co-own solar farms, thus democratizing the energy sector and enabling citizens to actively participate in the energy transition to renewables. Currently, we have more than 1,400 EU citizens who registered on our platform and made soft commitments to invest upwards of 3.4 million euros in solar energy projects. And the whole process of investing is really simple. We get citizens to jointly buy a part of a solar farm. Once set up, it generates clean electricity, which is distributed and sold to the grid. In the end, citizens receive a dividend for their share of generated electricity. And the whole process is automated through our platform. Talking about the solar energy market in general, it was worth more than 45 billion euros in 2018 and projected to reach more than 220 by 2026. It's one of the fastest growing sectors in the world right now, growing at a compounded annual growth rate of 20.5%. And we are currently targeting the Southeast European market worth almost 1 billion euros. We also try to forecast our impact using some of the tools developed by the European Union institutions, which show that for every megawatt of solar energy that we install, we create almost 200,000 euros worth of social, environmental, and health impact in addition to the financial returns. That's a whole lot of impact for a small investment, if you ask me. Last month, we were also featured in the SET 100 list of top 100 energy startups globally, ranked by the German Energy Agency and the World Energy Council. And last year, we won the EU Sustainable Energy Award in the Young Energy Trailblazer category, awarded by the European Commission. And last week, I was featured in the Forbes 30 under 30 list for Europe in this year. And last but not least, the team. I'm Philip. I have previous startup experience and previous work experience from working in a solar installation company, setting up and designing solar systems. Last year, I was also a technical working group member in the United Nations High-Level Dialogue on Energy, where I provided recommendations on how the world can achieve the SDG 7 targets that we set. And together with my diversified and experienced team, we are looking to be the leading platform for investment in clean and renewable energy by 2030. Thank you.
Thank you, Philip. Well done. Let's all own solar farms together, right?
Yes, exactly.
Any questions for Philip at the moment? Yes, here we go.
Yeah, I actually have a. I actually have a question about the solar grids. Oh no, just the grids, the energy grids. Sorry. So imagine you have a lot of participants in your system. Do you also plan on taxing the users of your system to contribute to the creation of these grids? Because, for example, in the Netherlands, in some areas we don't have the necessary infrastructure to actually facilitate huge solar power plants. So what do you envision for that? So have you also taken into account the contribution of your users to local infrastructures?
Well, we don't manage the grids. It's done by the distribution company, which is in most of the cases owned by the national company in Croatia or different European countries. So what we do is basically enable them to invest in a generation facility, solar farm. So basically they produce energy and we send it to the grid or to the local business who basically pays a fixed price for energy for a long term based on a power purchase agreement for the 10, 15 or 20 years, which is an industry standard.
Yeah, I think probably when you're a couple of billions of revenue ahead, then you might want to think about how you contribute to the grid. I can definitely imagine that. Any other questions at the moment? Yeah, here, Niels.
Yeah, Philip, thank you. How does it actually work then? Do you buy shares in a solar grid, or do you? How does it work?
Well, citizens basically buy a token which represents one solar panel in a solar farm. If they need cash for an emergency 2 or 3 years down the line, they can easily sell it to someone else and basically have a liquid investment which also generates yearly dividends while also creating an impact.
Will they actually be like shareholder in, I don't know, a corporation or an entity that actually owns the panels?
Well, we are working with several companies that also want to co-invest with us and also wants the local community to co-invest with them in projects.
Okay, clear. Room for a final question? Anyone here in the room? What do you next need, Philip? I think you're starting in Croatia, right?
Yeah, I was basically raised in Croatia. I've been living in Cyprus. So currently our focus is also on Cyprus because it has more than 320 sunny days in a year. We have a pilot project there that is ready and we have a pipeline of projects. What we need is basically to raise an investment to comply with the current regulations on crowdfunding and crowd investing.
Super. Yeah, well, good luck with that. And let's give Philip a very big hand for his answers and pitch.
Thank you.
Well done. And I think then we have the next one is Jula, indeed. Where's Emmanuel?
Yeah,
there you are.
Right here.
Hi, how are you doing? Are you good, Mo?
Yes, I'm doing good. Just
looking forward to this?
A little bit under the unpredictable Dutch weather.
Well, it's pretty good these days, so you can come over easily.
I mean, eventually, so I hear. I am in the Netherlands. I'm currently in Arnhem. I should have been in Amsterdam for the program, but the weather just got me in bed, so I couldn't make it. So
yeah, no, indeed. So we know indeed that you have got a bit of a health problem. So good luck with that, and thank you in any case for joining still. So good luck on your pitch. Let's give him a very big hand, everyone.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So I want you to picture this. You wake up one morning and the coffee you buy for €1 now sells for €3. And if you decide to pay with your card, your bank card or your bank app, you incur an additional 1.5% tax. That is crazy, right? Unfortunately, that is the situation in Ghana, a country with a population of over 30 million people, most of whom are between the ages of 22 and 40 years, either at the beginning or active stages of their career. And we have a lot of people living abroad too. In the past 4 months of this year, the Ghana national currency has seen drastic depreciation against the US dollar by almost 20%, making the financial sector unattractive, expensive, and yields little to no return on investment. This, coupled with a newly introduced electronic levy, which is popularly called e-levy in Ghana, a 1.5% tax on digital transaction, has led many Ghanaians to look for ways to hedge their money against depreciation and inflation, as well as spend less when they pay, when they transact electronically. My name is Mo Imbalam. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Yola. Yola provides a financial services platform that help users or our people to access multi-currency accounts that help them hedge against currency depreciation and inflation, send, receive, and request money in real time without incurring the Electronic Levy Act, and also gain insight into their spending through account aggregation. We launched our MVP later last year, with 400 testers. We've also reached over 500 people on our waiting list during the SBC program. And we've also formed partnership with some of these companies and are also in advanced talks with the others. So we charge a transaction fee on FX, payment, and transfers. And we're also looking into a subscription model for wealth management for 2023. This is how our growth plan looks like. Starting with account aggregation, multi-currency accounts, we would add crypto accounts and trading as well, and then also roll on into a financial services marketplace that will include peer-to-peer lending, looking at stock trading, fractional stock trading. We actually have a partnership with a US stockbroker to offer fractional stock trading on Yola. And we're looking to do all these within the next 2 years. And to help achieve this, we're raising $550,000 that would go into building our team, partnerships and tech, as well as marketing and compliance. And we have a very strong team that has the drive and years of experience to achieve this. This is my 4th startup. My first company was the first peer-to-peer lending platform in Ghana that was acquired by a microfinance in 2018. And together with Suleiman, this is our 3rd startup. So we're excited about what we're building with Yola and our mission to empower people to improve their financial health and have more control over their money, as well as access global financial opportunities. And if you're excited to help us achieve this mission, we'll be happy to have you in our breakout room and discuss further. Thank you very much.
Well done. Well done. So very nice pitch indeed. I think in quite a nice mission to be on. Do we have any questions at the moment already? Anyone? Keep awake. Yeah, Niels, you start. Okay, great.
And well, thank you very much for this presentation. Could you tell me a little bit more about your business model and how are you earning money on this?
So we're making a transaction fee on the transactions that users would make on Yola. So basically on FX, also on payments and then transfers as well. So that is a current model that we're exploring, but we're also, because we're doing account aggregation and insights into customer spending, we'll be looking at a subscription model going forward.
All right, I'm curious as well, Mo, how do you see sort of the local competition? Are there more solutions popping up, I think, in this space? So how do you see the market evolving there at the moment?
Yes, interestingly, currently in Ghana, there is no startup offering multi-currency accounts platform on the Ghanaian space, but we have a few competition in Nigeria, quite a few in Nigeria as well, and I think also in Rwanda. But in Ghana, there is no competition at the moment. So it would actually be the first company in Ghana to roll out multi-currency accounts.
Okay, cool. Thanks. Connie?
This is also, hi, thank you for your presentation. Is this, are you going to offer this directly? Are you going to need a license to offer this at all? Or are you also going to offer this in collaboration with the bank, who's probably not able to bring this in this type of channel and customer experience?
Yeah, so we're offering this together with some existing technology startups that have already worked on the license. So we're sort of building on them to offer the solution. Yeah.
Yeah, so you piggyback indeed on other licenses at the moment, right? To first start a rollout and then probably look at further taking on your own licenses along the way.
I mean, the ultimate goal would be to run all these by ourselves. It helps us keep more money in. But for our MVP and the next few years, maybe the next 2 years, we'll be riding on existing infrastructure whilst we put together systems to build our own structures as well.
Cool, cool, really nice.
For the first time, I'm sweating in the Netherlands.
Yeah, it's a real fever. It's a real fever, yeah. It's not the weather, no. All right, no, but you're doing great. So, we'll let you go from here and take it easy and hope you restore soon. So, yeah. No, so get well soon. Let's give him a very big hand, everyone. Yes. Then we're up for Welfio as a next pitcher.
Hi there.
Yes. Are you ready, Richard?
Sweating here from Latvia too. So not only sweating in the Netherlands now.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get into it. So
Wait 1 second. Wait 1 second. You need a bit of energy for this, right? Let's give him some energy.
That's great. Thanks a lot. Yeah, the remote control is working. Nice. Thank you. So hi everyone, really happy to be here. My name is Richard and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Welfio. Now we are here to bring peer-to-peer lending to your favorite investing app. Let me tell you why and let me tell you how. By providing capital to underserved individuals and emerging businesses, offering low volatility yet high and consistent returns, loan investments really set out to change investing and lending globally. Now, over the years that the market exists, what we see is that it hasn't really gained as much momentum as was initially expected. And why is that the case? Well, in the loans market, on one hand, you have loan marketplaces that are really good at sourcing and putting together loans for investing, but struggle to gain a significant user base. On the other hand, you have investors that are facing way too many platforms to choose from, a complete lack of transparency, and requirements for complex analysis. So to change this, we are building an embedded investing solution that is to connect neo-brokers, institutional investors, and wealth managers to loan marketplaces globally. Using Welfio, our partners or their users will be able to access all the major loan investment opportunities from a single platform. In addition, they'll be able to enjoy decision-making assistance, investing automation, as well as insightful investment performance reporting. As a result, loan marketplaces will now have an access to huge user and capital base. Investors, well, they will have one platform for all of their loan investments, and they'll be able to benefit from transparency, insightful analytics, and tailored assistance. Now, with only a fraction of retail and institutional investors currently investing in loans, the market has already reached a 70 billion euros global size and is expected to continue growing way further. We're targeting it by charging a management fee for the capital invested to investors and loan marketplaces. So far, we have already built an MVP that assists the investors of Europe's largest loan marketplace in making more informed investment decisions. We've tested the MVP with more than 100 retail investors and are right now expanding it to accommodate other major loan marketplaces here in Europe. So to deliver on our mission of making investing in loans accessible to everyone, we've gathered a team that holds the perfect combination of youth and enthusiasm, together with relevant experience in investing, loan marketplace development, and lending. So if you find what I'm saying interesting, please note that we're currently looking for contacts of institutional investors and wealth managers that might potentially be interested in this private credit or loan space. So if you happen to be one, know one, or just want to have a chat with us, we would really appreciate it if you use the QR code that you're going to see on the screen in a second to book a meeting with us after the event. For now, Thanks a lot for your attention. I'm really eager to hear what questions you're going to have. Thank you.
Well done. Well done. Thank you. Good call. I think smooth pitch. Well done. Any questions here at the moment? I think it's in any case interesting to learn a little bit about your IP, right? So I think you're basically your marketplace on one end, but I think you actually also have built some kind of engine to sort of do something with the credits. Can you tell a bit about that?
Yeah, Don, thanks a lot for bringing this up. This is really an important point. So we're not acting only as an infrastructure provider. What we do as well is we have built a model that assesses the return and risk profile of the underlying loan investment opportunities. So in that way, users can really quickly scan through the available loan investments and very quickly can see which are the best opportunities available at the moment. And so we're able to do it because some of our founders, some of our people, they previously worked for lending companies doing the data analysis, the underwriting and other things. And some of our people have previously built lending companies that have been operating in more than 10 countries. So we know the industry inside out. We know how the underwriting is being done. We know how the loans are being managed. And that puts us in a really good position to build data-driven and automated investments for everyone.
Yeah. Thanks. Well done. Another question here.
Yeah, thanks, Don. Now I have a positive and a negative question. As I understand that you don't make loans yourselves, you sort of aggregate with the loan market, and then, as you just said, you apply a bit of your own analysis to try to figure out the risk of the various loans out there. And my negative question is, how can you do that when a lot of the information is proprietary? You don't have access to it in the individual loans and the individual P2P companies. My positive question is that you said you make most of your money from the management fee for investors. So am I right that you're offering investors a chance to spread out their risk of investment in the P2P industry by not risking just in one company that could go bust, but spreading it out so that it's a risk spreading service that you provide?
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of things to uncover. So let me try to take it step by step. So essentially, as you said, one of the biggest benefits that we have is that we are able to access all of these different loan types from all of these different platforms or all of these different geographies, so that we can really diversify your risks across many different things that are not so correlated among each other. And when we talk about current investing in peer-to-peer loans or in loans in general, what you will find is that most of the platforms really have are really offering, one set of loans. So let's say consumer loans in Holland or something like that. And that's really limited. So you would have to go to, tens of different platforms for yourself to be able to do that diversification. So we kind of bring in that element of you being able to diversify across many loan types and, not go bust if one company or one country even, runs into some big trouble. Now, when it comes to this proprietary information and the way we assess the risks, so we kind of start, there are multiple types of loan investment platforms in the market, and we're going to start with the ones that we know the best. So the ones that dominate European market at the moment are so-called loan marketplaces, where what you have is you have lending companies listing their loans that they've already issued for you to invest in. So essentially, they're kind of sharing the risks and sharing the rewards, therefore. So in that regard, they are guaranteeing that if the end borrower is not going to pay back the funds, they're going to step in and they're going to cover the risk. So in that case, we're evaluating the company that's behind the investment, behind the loan, the lending company, its financial stability, its management skills, etc. So there we will already establish the really solid track record in terms of being able to assess the risks. But when it comes to peer-to-peer, specifically individual loans, the thing there is that these marketplaces, of course, they have an interest in terms of working with solutions like us that can bring in a lot of demand that they're lacking and they're seeking, and so they're able to share some extra information too that can help us run our algorithms, run our risk scoring models, etc. I hope that it was a long answer, but I just don't want to.
I see some nods here on my side, so I think you're doing good. Yeah. No, well done. Any other questions here from the room? A bit of energy more. We need a little bit more, but I think so. One thing, maybe. What else do you need now? Basically, going forward, what are the first couple of hurdles outside demo day next week? What are the next hurdles you're going to focus on? Maybe actually that also people in the room here perhaps could help you with.
Yeah. So there are two main ones. So we already have soft commitment from multiple loan marketplaces that are ready to work with us. So we are kind of really good on the supply side at the moment. But what we're looking for is a partnership and an interest from the side of the investors. So if you know any professional investor or any family office, anyone else that's a big professional investor managing someone else's money that might be interested in the space, would be super cool if you could link us to them. And in addition, we're going to be raising funding somewhere in the middle of the summer too. So stay tuned for that. And if you're a VC investor, super happy to meet you already now. But yeah, anything else? Also super happy to talk if you just find it interesting.
Great.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. Indeed, let's use the QR code to book a meeting if you want to join the breakout. And for now, let's give him a big hand. Thank you very much. Well done.
Thank you.
And then we're on for our last pitch for today. We're going to listen to Clay. Michele, bring it on. Let's give him a big hand, everyone. It's a bit silent here. We shouldn't do that. Good luck.
Hey guys. Hello everybody. Thank you for staying until 6 p.m. on a Friday. I appreciate it. So I'm Mike, co-founder and CEO of Clay, and I've already given you a little bit of a sneak preview of what was happening there. Beside a very embarrassing hairstyle, sporting 14 years ago, this is a photo of myself, Christian, and Alessia, my two co-founders. Now, looking at this photo reminds me of the struggles that we had to face when we were 14, when we were teens, the struggle that Alessia had to go through to gain her independence, the struggles that Christian had to go through to be able to buy his first gaming PC, and the struggles that I had with managing my little allowance. So all very different stories, but they all come down to two main issues: a strong desire for independence and a lack of financial education, which is not surprising at all when you consider that 70% of parents lack any financial literacy skills, creating a loop that traps future generation into lower future wealth, higher short-term debt, a higher propensity to be falling victims to financial crime, but also it makes them, the parents, incapable of teaching their kids on how to break this loop and how to grow up being money conscious. But all parents, 92% of them, care about their kids' future and financial education. That is why we've created Clay, to reimagine financial education. A very simple approach that is based upon three main pillars. In our activity sections, parents and teens collaborate. They set shared goals and missions to work together in a reinforcement learning way. In our academy section, gamification will make it fun and engaging for teens and parents to learn what they're missing. And finally, we bring it all together in our banking solution, where teens can learn by doing, just like riding a bike and falling off of it. It's an all-in-one platform, the first that goes beyond banking and tackling financial education, or rather the lack of it. Through gamification, we'll reach virality and improve the financial wealth of future generation. A social cause that we believe in it so much that we're willing to offer our products on a freemium basis, also offering a premium product for a more enhanced version of it. And also, by offering our proprietary learning engine to existing banking solution, we'll create the banking customers of tomorrow. So far, our traction is seen as partnering with Feduf, a leading corporation in Italy for financial education, where we're reaching more than 100,000 high school students. And we're also partnering with Olympic athletes and inspiring influencers to further our social message. It's a lock, there you go. MVP ready next month, and after funding, we will launch our premium product at the beginning of the next school year to maximize our traction. Now that photo was from 14 years ago. This is us now, with a different hairstyle, but also, you know, with a lot more experience. And a suit, not today, but I had a suit, yes. In experience in banking, finance, gamification, serious game design, and market strategies. Behind us, we also have a strong team of advisors, ranging from corporate banking to gamification, to child psychologists and neuropsychiatrists for kids, and also legal and compliance. We're looking for a seed round to make this all possible and to help future generation. The seed round is 800,000 euros and will let us run Clay for a year. So this is us. We're Clay. We're a solution that tackles financial illiteracy and that creates a better future for everyone. I'm happy to answer any questions. Thank you for staying past 6. I very much appreciate it. And thank you again for being here.
Well done. No, in any case, financial education always goes me at heart. I think it's a really important subject that I think across the industry should get much more attention. So thanks for being here and putting this on the map again. Are we having any questions here for Mike? Yeah.
I think I have to compliment on a very good topic, very socially relevant. Could you elaborate a bit more on the gamification and the banking solution that you guys want to provide?
Absolutely. the good questions there. So gamification has become the main aspect of our learning engine, our proprietary learning engine. Thanks to Christian's experience in serious game designs and thanks to his PhD in biorobotics, we've been able to apply his know-how in how to approach a serious subject, in our case, serious and sometimes quite boring as well for teens, in a fun and engaging way by attaching it to what are the elements of basic gamification: leveling, experience, rewards, reinforcement learning, positive feedback. So through an environment where kids can learn whilst they think they're not learning, and also improving their status and earning more money for their goals and helping their families achieve a common goal together, that's what's going to make it then eventually in the banking part, in the practical part, the best feature.
Yep. Cool. Other questions? Yes, here we are.
Mike, fantastic topic once again. And in terms of scaling this, are you going to get your own licenses, or are you planning to partner with the banks?
Yes, really good question indeed. In terms of banking licenses at the moment, to help us reach the market first, we are partnering with banking as a service providers to leverage their existing license. Our medium to long-term plan is indeed to gain our own banking license, also in order to be able to aggregate the data that will help us empower the banking customers of tomorrow even further.
All right. Yeah, I'm coming your way. And then I'm coming to you, Menno, because at the front there they were saying you need to look at this.
Hi, how I see it, it's almost like the Duolingo of like this financial education. And I use Duolingo, and I get addicted sometimes, with all the positive feedback. And you're targeting kids, and I'm just wondering, how will you deal with addiction?
Yeah, taking a breath there. Quite a heavy question indeed.
Addiction
Yes,
to education, right? Should we solve that? That's the question. Should we solve it? Yeah.
So indeed, how to avoid the addictive aspect of gamification, especially when it comes to the target market, which is teens. One of our main focus at the beginning of the creation of a value proposition is partnering with neuropsychiatrists that focus very much on the learning process that teens and families apply both in their familiar setting but also in the wider world, in the outside world. We are applying the same techniques that apply to any normal and any more medical medical aspect also to our app. So control is going to be very important, both from the parents and from the teens. But also thanks to our academy section, it's not going to be a loop where people are going to be trapped in, but it's going to be very much an empowerment tool. But thank you for your question. It's quite an important topic.
Yeah, cool. I said I would go by Menno first, and then I'll come to you.
Okay. Yeah, Michel, we've talked compliments on your progress. I think it's a luxury problem if they get addicted. So I will try to make a more difficult question for you, maybe. So from the families who have like a low financial education level, I imagine most of them don't really talk to each other. The relationships are not that great. How do you get them together in your app?
Another great
nice
question.
Challenge.
I'm liking this audience indeed. There's a breakdown in communication in majority of cases, and in our initial discovery phase of Clay, we've noticed this, and this has been one of the biggest pain points, especially when it comes to a breakdown of communication between parents and teens, especially on a topic like money, which is very much still seen as a taboo. To overcome this breakdown and to make it possible so that it reduces the anxiety level that has been reported to be quite high in teens when asking for money and in parents when faced with such issues. We are creating in our activity section a logic that will allow teens to overcome this communication barrier through the agreement of commonly shared goals and commonly shared missions, as we call them in our app, that are rewarded both by parents and anyone that is close to the community and in that moment of their life in the sphere of the teen. Another important aspect is in fact the fact that our academy section not only tackles teens, but it also tackles parents. We cannot have the audacity of thinking that we're just going to be teaching kids. We also need to teach parents how to teach and what to teach, hoping to also ease this barrier, this cognitive barrier.
So you've got your built-in reverse psychology as well.
They have everything.
Go full in crypto. Go full in crypto. Yeah, okay. All right, we got one last question here.
Thank you very much. There is a little bit gray area for me regarding educating people and advising them. So where is the edge actually? So, and how do you make sure that you're not going to be in trouble just in case that you try to educate someone financially and that person is going to bring you to the court and says, okay, this person has advised me, try to give me financial advice.
Yeah.
So, you know, as an investor, so I need to
It is very much a fine line.
Get avoided from that situation. Thank you.
Thank you for the question. It is very much a fine line, the difference in between advising and educating. We in our team we have both members that are financial advisors that would help us with just creating the content, also validating the content from a purely financial basis. But what we're going to be leaning on and what we're going to be trusting is those corporate partnerships, those partnerships with government bodies like FEDUF in my previous slide, and more newly formed partnerships in the Netherlands and in Belgium that will help us validate the content also from an educative point of view. So that line is always going to be clear to us, and what is the difference in between advising and educating.
Yeah, definitely important thing to keep in mind. We're running a bit late, but I think there's great questions coming by. So thank you for answering them, Mike. Let's give Mike a very big hand and
thank you.
Good luck going forward. That means we're about to start wrapping things up, right? So I think we have a couple of final slides to show you. Yes, please go to menti.com for some final questions. You know, we'd like to know what kind of beer you want at the end, and you know, you can order bitter balls maybe already as well. No, we'd just like to make some final connections, understand what you thought about the event. Of course, always keen to get some feedback, and we're very much looking forward to actually get you going for our next events as well. I still see some people scanning, so this should be the same one as before actually. If you still have that open, you could also use the previous Menti link, but otherwise feel free to scan it again. Yes, I see the phones are all down, so almost, wait, yep. Yeah. That isn't gonna get you anywhere, Connie, I'm afraid. Yeah. All right, got it? Okay. Thanks. So let's move on to the next slides. We've got a few Yes, these are just some upcoming events we'd like you to be aware of. Of course, Amsterdam Fintech Week, as I told you before. But of course, we'll have another meetup again within a month. That will be in the week of Money 2020, which is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday that week. And then on Friday, we actually have a meetup again. So we can tell you all about our experiences there and perhaps give you some nice connections that we made at Money 2020. On the 1st of June, we have Fintech Meets the Regulator, what we organized together with the Dutch Central Bank. Quite a nice event as well with 200 places, but I think we're almost sold out there, so it's coming quite tense. And for the rest, I think, yeah, there's much more to come, so please check out hollandfintech.com/events to see more what's coming up. I would like to wrap it up with that, and I understood that Iconic is not in the room and currently still doing some trades. So I'll wrap up on behalf of them. It's been great to have been able to do it in this location with their support. And of course, you'll be meeting them later on during drinks at the bar. But let's give him a big hand as well to thank them again for their hospitality. And of course, again, the same for Startup Bootcamp and all their startups for collaborating with us today. Let's give them another big hand. And if you still got a bit of energy left, let's also give a big one for all the organizing crew here at the back with the video team, organizing team. Thank you guys, you did a great job. And now we're really ready for drinks. Head it off, enjoy your weekend, see you next time.